So Party Summer is about the girl named Carrie and her friend Jan, and her friend Jan's aunt is like, hey, I volunteered you guys to work for the summer at this creepy hotel on this island. Not Fear Island, it's a different island, not like the one from Overnight. Would you and your other two dude friends like to go? And so they decide that they're gonna help work at this hotel for the summer. They just think that they're gonna like lay out and swim and have a party summer. Jan's aunt is taking them off to the island, and then she suddenly gets sick, so she decides to stay at her sister's house, and she sends them on without her. And they get to the inn, and at first they're told it's closed by the butler. And then this guy named Simon comes out, and he's all, like, charming and stuff, and he's got, like, white hair, and he's really tall, and he's got, like, this big booming voice, but he's, like, super nice, and he's like, no, he just doesn't want people here, but we are actually closed because we're doing renovations, but all the workers left, and so we're trying to get it up and running for the summer, so if you want, you guys can stay the night, and then if you can leave the next morning. But then, while they're all sitting there, either at some meal, either dinner or breakfast or whatever, they decide that they'll actually stay and help work on the hotel for the summer, and try to get it up and running for them until the workers come back. And they learn that Simon has a really depressed brother that kind of hides out in his room all the time, that Simon's wife died a long time ago. So they're working on the hotel, and they're, like, going to the beach and laying out and having fun, and they discover a couple weird things about the island. Like, under the hotel there's these, like, weird underground tunnels, and they keep hearing Simon arguing with his brother and some woman in their room, and Jan keeps trying to call her aunt because it's been like a couple days and she still hasn't returned to the island yet, so they're wondering where she is, but every time Jan calls it just kind of like rings and rings, and then Simon's like, oh, I'm gonna go check on her to make sure she's okay, and then Jan ends up disappearing, and from there things kind of get weirder. So one of the arguments they hear Simon having with his brother Edward is about a party. Edward wants to throw a party, or Simon doesn't want him to, and some lady that's like in Simon's room doesn't want him to. They hear Edward and Simon arguing, and it gets worse and worse, and then Edward ends up shooting Simon. Edward frantically storms out of the room, and then they go in to look for Simon, and they can't find his body anywhere. Then when they go around the rest of the hotel looking for him, they find this really weird room that has, like, mounted heads on the wall and is like a hunting trophy room. And that's when Edward kind of pops up and is like, hey, we're gonna have a hunting party, and I'm gonna hunt you guys down, you have an hour to go. Kind of the climax of the story of them trying to get away from him. And along the way, they find out Simon and Edward are actually the same person. There technically, like, is no Edward or Simon, but Martin, the servant who's been with Simon for a long time, says that Simon actually has split personality disorder because after his wife died, he couldn't take it, so he kind of, like, compartmentalized his grief into, like, two different people. While Martin's trying to get all the kids out of there to safety to the hotel, they end up coming across Jan and her aunt, and I guess she got there the day after they got there, but then Simon, or Edward, I guess Edward locked her in the tunnel downstairs. Every time that they tried to call out, Simon was the one making the call, so the call wasn't actually going out. And then Edward comes in, he tries to shoot them, but then they kind of overpower him. Oh, they also realize that the woman that they heard in Simon's room was also Simon. He kind of, like, one of his personalities is he took on his dead wife. But it kind of ends on a happy note because they get off the island, and Martin is able to take Simon away to go get help because he was in a mental hospital for a while, and then they thought he was getting better. So they took him to the inn to try to, like, make him feel better and give him something to do, but then it just backfired and he started trying to do these hunting parties. It turned out that the heads in the case weren't real, they were just wax, but it inspired him to do the hunting party because his wife was killed in a hunting accident. And so that's his way of trying to cope with it, is to have these weird hunting parties. But that was going to be his first one, is with those kids. So far, this has actually been my favorite Fear Street book because it has a lot of twists and turns, like an English country road, which has nothing to do with the story. The whole time, I didn't know what any of the plot twists were going to be. Like, sometimes I thought maybe he was going to be like a vampire or some kind of monster, like a werewolf or something. R.L Stine's usually really good about keeping you in suspense and not letting you know what the twists and turns are going to be of his books, or his Fear Street books at least. But this one, all of these were out of left field, and so I thought that was really cool. I I was a little disappointed because I thought that Jan was going to be the main character this whole time, or I thought he was going to jump around to different perspectives, because when he started the book, it starts out from Jan's perspective, and she's doing some kind of, like, ghosty ritual, because she really likes ghosty stuff, and, but then it's Carrie telling the story the whole time, so that was a little disappointing, but not that much. And then I kind of wish a little bit that they had stayed at the hotel longer, because, like, I think the book only takes place in, like, a week, maybe, like, a week and a half at the most. So I thought there was going to be a little bit more build-up. Right now I'm working on The Surprise Party by R.L Stine, because I went through all the books that Party Summer was the last one I had that I owned, so I went to the library and got a bunch more. I ended up getting The Stepsister, which I did read a long time ago, and I vaguely remember. The Prom Queen, I'm pretty sure I read this, too. The Dead Lifeguard, I did not read. College Weekend, I'm pretty sure I read, but I don't really remember any of it. And The Surprise Party, which I've never read. So that's what's coming up on my to-be-read list for a little bit, at least for another week. I actually do get through these books pretty fast. It takes me, like, a day to read them. And Party Summer was, like, the thickest one I've read so far. So that's Party Summer by R.L Stine. Hope you guys liked it. Love you guys. Bye.